Welcome to the show, guys. I'm your host, Colin Sopio, and this is Sporting TV, your number one leading sports channel. And on our show today, we are going to mainly focus our attention on the matches which were played in the weekend. That is Arsenal against Everton, Man City against Tottenham, Manchester United against Crystal Palace, Newcastle against West Ham, and Liverpool against Wolves, and finally Chelsea against Fulham. Quickly, if I may just take you quickly through the results during the weekend. Arsenal lost by a solitary goal when they played Everton. Manchester City also lost the match between Tottenham by a solitary goal. Manchester United won their match against Crystal Palace by 2-1. The scorers being Marcus Rashford and Bruno Fernandes. Newcastle United against West Ham, it ended in a barren draw. That is 1-1. Liverpool lost against Wolves, and Chelsea also drew against Fulham 0-0. Still at the top, we have Arsenal with 50 points, Man City with 45 points, Man United with 42 points, Newcastle with 40 points, Tottenham with 39 points, Liverpool at 29, and Chelsea at 30 points. Now, on set today, we have our resident host, that is Coach Maish. Coach Maish, welcome to the show.
It's always a pleasure.
The matches that were played during the weekend, we saw that Arsenal lost against Everton. Did you really expect that result for the Gunners?
Well, as I said earlier on, that those teams that are playing in the relegation or are bound to be relegated are the toughest team to play with. And that one proved a point because Everton came with a new coach and they were eager to perform. So I think they didn't do any signing during the January signing. In fact, they lost one of their players, that is Gordon. But then you see that the coach was just tactical, and it proved that it was going to bear fruits, and they won.
Now, the match Arsenal lost, do you think now that it has made the race now finally to be open? Because at the moment, mathematically, the top 5 teams still have a chance to win this league with about 17 matches to go. Do you think now that it's a setback for the Gunners?
For some teams, it's 18 matches. Arsenal has got 18 matches to go. Others have 17. And I do believe that the Premiership is way from over, because you can't determine a match with a match under 19 games are not played. So I think it's still open. It's anybody's game, because given that Arsenal were beaten now, it is going to be proven that Arsenal are beatable. So they are going to have a run for their money when they are playing the league.
Indeed, Arsenal is unbeatable. And the match, we move on to Manchester City. Before getting to Man City, Coach Maish, I would just like to touch this. Arsenal still has a game at hand, and if they play that match and they win, of course, it will move them to 53 points. What's your take on that?
Now, I do believe if you haven't played that game, then we don't count it as yours. Not unless you play it, then it becomes yours and you win. And as we can see that the Everton match, they said that this was they were going to thrash or beat them thoroughly, and we saw that it was the other way around. So I think every team comes out just like any war. Your opponent is also prepared. So whenever you come to any game, any fight, you also know that your opponent is prepared. So come also prepared, because they have also prepared themselves.
They've also prepared themselves, indeed. It was a week of surprises. We saw Arsenal losing, Manchester City losing, Liverpool losing, and Chelsea drawing. Now, back to this Man City team under Pep Guardiola, we saw that they had an advantage. If they could have won the match they played against Tottenham, they could have cut down the Arsenal points to 8, and they lost. Your take on that, Coach Maish?
No, as I said earlier, when Giao, the player that went to Bayern,
that is Joao Cancelo.
Cancelo.
Yeah.
I said that Man City is having a problem, and you can see some of the players, most of them they are looking for greener pastures, and you can see that is a problem to the Man City fraternity. So I do believe the problem is coming from the coach, and I do believe that if he doesn't make his house clean, now I think he's going to lose a grip on this premiership.
Pep Guardiola, going by the statements of Coach Maish, Pep Guardiola has to put his house in order for him to achieve greater results. Now, moving on to Manchester United, it was a match that they played at Old Trafford, remembering that in the first leg they drew 1-1 against this Crystal Palace side, and it was an equalizer for Crystal Palace at the dying minutes of the match when Olise did convert a perfect free kick into the net. This time round, Manchester United won the match 2-1, and Casemiro was shown a very, I may just call it a very silly red card, going by my words. Coach Maish, your take on this match, Manchester United against Crystal Palace?
No, I think more than ever we need Casemiro, and if he's going to behave the way he's behaving now, I think we are going to lose him, and it's very dangerous because he's a good player, and when you are given red on account of unsportsman behavior, now it seems as if you are not mature enough to control your temper, because if at all you'll be given a red card when you are playing the game, it's another case. But then when they are what do we call them, off the ball incidents,
yeah,
so that means that he's got to control his tempers, and he's a good player, and we are going to miss him during the 3 matches ban. I think he got to control himself, otherwise he will cost Manchester a lot.
It was a direct red card, meaning
Yes.
that Casemiro will miss 3 consecutive matches
Mm-hmm.
that Manchester United will play.
Yes.
Do you think it will be a very big miss, considering that Casemiro has been one of the most outstanding players in this Manchester United team?
Yeah, we have seen his output, and he's one of the most influential players we've ever bought, because he have come in and he have settled and he have shown it. In every game that he plays, we are winning, and he's either contributing, assisting, or he's scoring. So he's a very influential player as far as Manchester United is concerned.
A very important player indeed, Casemiro. Now, before we move on, I'd just like you to touch on this Marcus Rashford form so far, being the top scorer for Manchester United, and he's banging goals week in, week out, and he's pulling out, giving out man of the match performances. Your take on Marcus Rashford, Coach Maish?
Rashford is on a scintillating form, and I think from the word go, he's even won the player of the year, of the month,
yeah,
award with Arteta. So it means that he's had consistent play, and he's scoring, and he's scoring from every cylinder, and you can see he's assisting Manchester. If he's not scoring, he's giving an assist, and you can tell he's coming of age, and he's a man to reckon with in Manchester United squad.
Marcus Rashford firing on all cylinders in this Premier League this season. Now we move on to Liverpool. They've been on a downward trajectory, if I may use that word. It has not been all rosy for Jurgen Klopp this season, keeping in mind that they lost a very influential player in the name of Mane. Do you think now, by the departure of Mane, is it coming back now to haunt this Liverpool side?
Most definitely, because you can see, in as much as they wouldn't admit that Mane played a key role in that team, now it is coming to haunt them, because more than ever, Salah is not having the best game of his career, and he doesn't have anyone to assist him. I think if they have not gotten a replacement for Sadio Mane, I do believe that's where they are suffering. And when you decide to sell a player, then I think there are things you should consider a replacement, and they haven't got any.
So what's your take on this for Liverpool team moving forward? Should Jurgen Klopp bring in some changes and maybe give players time who have not been having minutes to see if maybe somehow they can shake up things in his first 11?
Liverpool has a big squad, and I do believe that Jurgen is the right man for that team, even though they have not won in 5 matches, and it's not of them, given that they've been from last season, they've been in a very scintillating form. So I do believe that he needs to make a few changes, dressing room and what have you, and then he will bring the best out of Liverpool eventually.
The best out of Liverpool. Now we move on to London, the Blues, that is Chelsea, who are at number 9 currently, with all the summer spending that they've spent, being the team that spent a lot in the European transfer this season, but it has not really, on paper, it seems that they have a very good team, but somehow it's not working out for them. Your take on that, Coach Maish?
No, I do believe that Chelsea has a good squad, but then I'll tell you that that squad is for the future, and I don't think that they are going to change, although they want to play in the Champions League. So they got to pull their socks up and believe that that squad is capable of doing that, given that when you will watch that game with Fulham, they were firing from all cylinders, although they didn't notch a goal. But then you could see that the spirit was there. They were performing well, but then luck was not on their side. Sometimes you need luck in football to bring in some results.
Moving forward, is Graham Potter the right person to move Chelsea forward? Coach, your take on this in seconds as we try to wrap this up.
No, I think when you are experimenting some coaches, sometimes it's very hard to believe that that coach will bring the best out of a team. Now, I think he's been tried and tested, but then not on a bigger stage like Chelsea. And I do believe that Chelsea is beginning to be a bigger club than the coach, and I do believe they need to bring a fresh coach, and one that has experience, one that will command even respect amongst the players. Yeah.
Arsenal losing, Manchester City losing, Liverpool losing, Chelsea drawing. Did you expect any of the results that finally came to happen in the matches that were played in the weekend?
Not really, but then I do believe now it has bring something that we call that the park is closing on. The second park that is coming between that of Manchester United and Newcastle and Tottenham, they are closing in. So when any team that is leading loses, now it means that the others are closing in because they are winning. So I think that will bring the need to open. It is anyone's league now, and anybody can win the league, given that now the points are being minimized.
Anyone can win the league, indeed. That is the word of Coach Maish, going that by the matches that were played during the weekend. And I think now it's a wrap for us. And thank you for I'd like to thank everyone who has been participating so far in this show, subscribing, viewing, and also commenting. Just keep it Sporting TV. Coach Maish, it has been nice having you on set.
Thank you. It's always a pleasure.
Always a pleasure also to have you on set. As from us and my crew, it's bye-bye for now. Do remember to keep it Sporting TV.